listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
What does formation and preparation for full-time church work look like at Concordia University St. Paul? Well, we'll learn that today in our Set Apart to Serve conversation on The Coffee Hour. This episode of The Coffee Hour is underwritten in part by Concordia University St. Paul. You can learn more about Concordia University St. Paul by visiting csp.edu. Joining us today, the Reverend Dr. Brian Friedrich is president of Concordia University St. Paul. Welcome to The Coffee Hour.
Good morning, Andy and Sarah.
Also joining us today, Breana Winnes. She's Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Concordia University St. Paul. Breana, welcome to The Coffee Hour.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
I am excited to get to chat with both of you and learn a little bit more about what you do at Concordia. And then we'll learn more about the programs that you get to invite students to learn about and participate in at Concordia St. Paul. Breana, how long have you been at Concordia St. Paul?
I have been at Concordia University St. Paul for 6.5 years.
And what do you love about what you do every day?
I love the community that I am a part of. I was a student myself at CSP, and having been a student as well as a staff member, I am able to fully embrace and get to know everyone in the community, and it's such a wonderful opportunity.
Tell us what you get to do in your time as an assistant director of admissions. What does that actually look like for you?
Well, what does that entail? So I have the ability to meet with students and a variety of students. So those that are coming directly from high school, as well as those that are transferring in. And I especially meet with those that are interested in any of our church work programs. And so those that are interested in going into ministry, I am their admissions counselor.
Perfect. Dr. Friedrich, how long have you been at Concordia St. Paul?
Just about 6 years, or as I like to count time, 24 board meetings.
That's amazing.
That's a great way to measure time.
It is a great way to measure time. Don't ask me the total number of board meetings I've attended between Concordia, Nebraska and Concordia St. Paul, but it's been a bunch.
That's so funny. I really want to ask you about those, but that's not why we're here. That's for a different episode. What do you love about being president of Concordia St. Paul? What's great about your job?
There is such a long list, Sarah. I think it starts at the top with the faculty and staff and board members that I am honored and privileged to work with. Just so outstanding in every way. And then the students, we have this rich mix of students, and hopefully we'll talk a little bit more about that as we chat this morning. But it's a wonderful, wonderful student body. And then the third thing I really like is our location and the incredible number of opportunities that are available throughout the Twin Cities for our students, for our faculty, and for Lori and me.
Breana, share with us, what are the church work programs available at Concordia University St. Paul?
Yes, we have a few to choose from. So we have the Director of Christian Education. And so those are for students that are looking to partner with the pastors in talking about specifically parish education, Sunday school, Bible classes. And it's a 5-year program. And so they are pursuing Christian ministry as their major, and then Lutheran theology as their minor. And then there's an internship after that, which is similar to our Director of Christian Outreach. And so those are for those students that are looking to serve globally as well as locally and be prepared to have the crossing of cultural boundaries and sharing and building those relationships to share about Christ's love. And so that's similar of having that that Christian ministry as their major and then Lutheran theology as their minor. And then for those that are wanting to go into Director of Parish Music to lead worship throughout their congregation. And then Lutheran Classroom Teacher is for those that are planning to become educators, and they get to be not only in the public, but also private setting. And so they're teaching within the classes prior to graduation. And then we have our pre-deaconess and then pre-pastoral programs. And so for those that are looking to continue on to go into seminary. And for those that are adults too, we have a colloquy program. And those are perfect for adult learners that are looking to continue on into their ministry.
So a lot of options for church work formation at Concordia St. Paul. Dr. Friedrich, why are the church work programs so important to Concordia St. Paul?
What a wonderful question, Sarah. This starts Concordia's 133rd academic year. When Concordia was founded in 1893, it was founded for the purpose of preparing young men for the pastoral ministry. And in 1893, we started as a high school. We were being modeled after the German gymnasium, where there were 4 years of high school and what we would say today would be 2 years of junior college, a 6-year preparation that led then to a full seminary education. So one of the reasons it's important is it's a link to our historic past. But even more important, Concordia St. Paul is an agency of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. And one of the things that we do together as Synod is we commit ourselves as a church body to prepare workers for the next generation. And it's absolutely a thrill to work with this generation of students and see how they will lead and serve in our church in the years and decades ahead.
Breana, let's talk a little bit more about the experience that students have at Concordia University St. Paul. You get to meet them and introduce them to the programs at Concordia University St. Paul. What does an opportunity like that look like for a prospective student? Do they get to come on campus and learn about life there and meet students who are in the program?
Absolutely. And I strongly encourage students to go and visit anywhere that they're interested in. But I love to meet with students myself. So what it typically looks like when a student comes to campus is that they will go on a campus tour. We offer tours Monday through Friday, 3 times a day. But then also they get to meet with an admissions counselor, so myself or another one of my teammates. And then they get to go to chapel, which is a wonderful opportunity of seeing what our chapel entails, and then meet with a faculty member as well. And so if, for example, a student is interested in our pre-pastoral program, we like to have them meet with Dr. Reverend Lee Blessing, and then I hear from him and learn more about what is within our classes.
We love Dr. Lessing.
Yes, we do.
Occasionally we get to do a series with him. We did one earlier this year or last year, I think it was. And we love doing series with him on things that he's written and specific. So I think hopefully we have another one coming up in the near future.
I sure hope so.
Because I feel like I get to be a student and sit in his class and learn from him. Speaking of being in class, I know the students get to have in the church work programs at Concordia University St. Paul, they have a lot of classroom time. But you mentioned like Lutheran classroom teachers have the experience to teach in a classroom before graduating and going into the field to serve professionally full time. What about some of the other programs? Do they have some practical experience in the other church work programs at Concordia University St. Paul?
Yeah, a lot of our programs are incredibly hands-on. And so I like to share too about how faculty are assisting students one-on-one too. So I know, for example, we've had faculty members that have offered to meet with students to once a week to give private tutoring lessons in Greek, as an example. And then I share for all of our students, so whether they're interested in church work or not, that they have the ability to serve within the community, that they get to love their neighbor. And so all of our students have the ability to be a part of Bible study, to be a part of chapel. And since we are in an urban setting, we have the opportunity to be able to be salt and light, not only here on campus, but also within the Twin Cities too. And so with having small class sizes, students are able to have that one-on-one attention with getting to know their faculty and their faculty knowing them. Students are not lost in a sea of students by any means. So they are able to really converse and have those conversations about the Christian faith. during that time during class, but then they also get to put that into practice of what they have learned throughout what's taught in the class and what they know throughout the scriptures right here on campus too. And that's for those that are interested in church work as well as for all of our students.
It really sounds like you enjoy what you get to do. You get to share about the wonderful offerings at Concordia St. Paul. Tell us from your perspective as someone who works in admission who gets to talk to students about potentially coming to Concordia St. Paul. Why are these church work programs important from your perspective?
Yeah, church work is important because the gospel is a vital matter. That being said, I believe that all of us as believers are called to understand the scriptures in order to discern how we live out our vocations and allowing that to guide our daily lives. And so for those that are called into ministry and to care for those within the church and to encourage others to know about Jesus Christ is a blessing. And so I believe that is why it's vital, and specifically at Concordia University St. Paul, I believe that CSP does a phenomenal job of living out our mission statement of Christ is honored and all are welcome. And so that being said, students have the ability to share the good news with those around them and help cultivate an environment of discipleship and making disciples of all nations.
You mentioned that you attended Concordia University St. Paul. Why did you choose CSP?
I did. Yes, I was here for my master's program, and I have had other family members that have attended Concordia University St. Paul too, for both being in their bachelor's programs as well as their master's programs. And I attended Concordia because I was working here at that point in time, and so I knew what was offered not only as a part of the community, but also as what was provided within the classroom too. And so small class sizes with the 16:1 ratio of students to faculty that we have now, that was important to me to be able to be in a classroom where I would be able to go directly to the professors. We don't have teachers' assistants. So I knew that I'd be able to have that support that I needed. And then I knew that I'd be as a student, a part of an environment that Christ was honored in.
We're learning about church worker formation at Concordia University St. Paul today in our Set Apart to Serve series. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll learn more about the programs and why it's a good experience, what makes it a unique experience for students at Concordia University St. Paul. You're listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
Who am I? How has God gifted me? Where is God calling me to serve? Concordia University St. Paul helps students explore the answers to these questions. Through a Christ-centered Lutheran higher education, dedicated faculty, and engaging academic programs, CSP is here to walk alongside you in your educational journey. With more than 100 degree programs from undergraduate to graduate offered in person and online, CSP aims to prepare you for success however God calls you. Visit csp.edu to discover and engage your calling today.
Welcome back to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
We are in our Set Apart to Serve conversation today. We're talking with friends from Concordia University St. Paul, President Reverend Dr. Brian Friedrich, and Breana Winnes. She's Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Concordia University St. Paul. Dr. Friedrich, what do you think is unique about Concordia University St. Paul that makes it a great place for students to prepare for church work?
Several things, Andy. I think one of the things that makes us unique is our urban setting. We are literally planted between Minneapolis and St. Paul. It's interesting. I learned recently that in the 1960s, the president and the board of Concordia at that time made a strategic decision to stay in the city. Other private colleges and universities not far from us were leaving the city, but Concordia University, then college, made the decision to stay. And commit itself to serving those in our neighborhoods. So we're in this wonderful multicultural urban setting. So that's one. I think the second thing is our deep commitment to affordability for church work students for sure, but all of our students. So one of the things that we've had for 5 years now is the tuition guarantee for church work students. Before, Breana talked a little bit about the various programs we have in the church workspace. We have 6 of them, 2 of them pre-deaconess, pre-pastoral. Students in those programs pay $0 in tuition. The other 4 programs that lead to the rostering of commissioned minister of religion, DCE, DCO, Lutheran teacher diploma, and parish music, those students pay no more than $3,000 in tuition per semester. And if they receive dollars from congregations or other entities, they can stack that on top of or use it to reduce that $3,000 per semester. So Concordia as a whole is just committed to affordability because we know that is the number one issue students have as they think about entering college or university and then staying in college or university and moving to graduation. The third thing really is our faculty. In our our Department of Ministry and Theology, we have outstanding faculty members. And not only do they serve students on campus, but they come to us with parish experience and they reach out into our congregations semester after semester, year after year, to share resources with our congregations. And speaking of congregations, there are a lot of congregations that surround Concordia University St. Paul. They are very wide and broad and diverse. Some have very liturgical worship. Some have very contemporary worship. Some have both and. So it's a wonderful experience for our students to have a chance to attend worship in a variety of settings in our LCMS congregations. So we have a lot of wonderful encouragement from congregations, from pastors, from other church workers in and around the South Minnesota district.
Dr. Friedrich, what are you doing to bring more students to campus? You've mentioned a lot of different initiatives and things that make Concordia St. Paul really unique. What are the exciting things happening to bring more students to that campus?
Thanks, Sarah. Another wonderful question. You guys prepared well. Thank you so much. One of the things that I've shared when asked that question by others is that there are really 3 things an institution can control, and there's one thing we can't control. So the 3 things we can control at Concordia, we can control the curriculum, what is taught, we can control the faculty who teaches, and we can control the cost, what we charge students to study at Concordia. Those are all things we can control, we take very seriously, and we are deeply committed to a quality curriculum, an outstanding, faithful faculty, and as I've already mentioned, an affordable tuition. The piece that we can't control are students coming here. So we want to do everything we can in those 3 areas to make Concordia as dynamic and exciting as we possibly can so that students come here, that congregations have great confidence in what's happening and what's being taught at Concordia and see Concordia as a wonderful ministry partner that will work with them to prepare the students that they're shaping and forming in their congregations.
I think we have a good picture now of the importance of the valuable classroom experience. Breana mentioned earlier the encouraging and faithful faculty that will spend time one-on-one with students when needed to help with tutoring and things like that, and answering questions one-on-one if needed, in addition to the regular class time. Beyond the classroom, what are the things about campus life that students have shared with you that they appreciate about Concordia University St. Paul? Dr. Friedrich?
Well, I'll start with that one. Thank you, Andy. One of the things that I am just so thankful for are our ministry team. Pastor Tom Gunderman is our university pastor. Anna Gruen is our ministry associate, and then Reverend Dr. Mark Koshman is our chief mission officer. And the work that they've done to create community for our our church work students is fantastic. So, for example, as we started the fall semester, they hosted a one-day retreat for our church work students. So all of our church work students attended. We spent a day together. They had an offsite opportunity in a very interesting ministry setting in Minneapolis. So I think having, first of all, the opportunity to build community, the second, to experience in a collective setting mission and ministry opportunities locally. And then third, another thing that many students tell me about why they choose Concordia is they like the rich mix of ethnicities and nationalities that study at Concordia. And for them, that's a real rewarding experience. It's an experience that for some of them say, I feel like I fit in here. And for others of them, they say, this is a new experience and I'm growing and learning so much and I love it.
Breana, what do students tell you about what they love about campus?
Yeah. A lot of students, as I had mentioned about the community, I think that that's such a important aspect. And so just to add on to individuals that President Friedrich had mentioned, Shelley Schwam being someone who is a part of overseeing our Director of Christian Education program, Dr. Samuel Duresa as well. And so these faculty are not only teaching, but once again, also knowing the students and walking alongside of them in the joys and the sorrows of life, but being able to be a part of a community that it gives not only chapel, but also Bible studies that they're able to participate in. Solos Christus is a mentorship program for students looking to dive deeper into their Christian faith. And so being a part of, yes, a diverse body where students, whether they're looking to go into the Director of Christian Outreach or pre-pastoral, that they're able to have conversations, build those relationships, and understand of how to share the good news in a diverse community is something that's very much appreciated. But there's always something going on campus. So whether you are doing something on CSP's campus or because you get to be a part of not only CSP's community, but also the Twin Cities. And so there's a lot going on all the time.
I might just jump back in here and two other things. One thing that students comment on frequently is this. The faculty knows my name and they know something about me. And Reverend Dr. Reed Lessing may be par excellence on knowing every student he teaches, their name, something about them, but he knows that across campus as well. And knowing that this is December 5th, tomorrow is our CSP Christmas. So another thing that students comment on is how much they enjoy the opportunity to be involved and engaged on a variety of different events and disciplines. So to be able to have performed in our recent fall production of Shrek, or to be a member of the choir, a member of the concert band, or the handbell choir. Those kinds of opportunities keep students engaged not only in the classroom, but far beyond, and build this rich and wonderful experience for them while they study at CSP.
Breana, what do you want students who are considering church work and studying church work at Concordia University St. Paul to know? What's their first step? What should they do to get connected?
Yeah, their first step would be to come and visit campus. I think that it is so important to step foot on campus, meet with staff, faculty, current students, and then also at that point in time, have that conversation to apply. Our application for seniors right now is open. And so they can apply online at csp.edu. The application is what we're looking for, and then their transcript, and that's it. We have something called rolling admissions, so we will get back to them with a handful of days regarding an admissions decision. So we do not keep them in suspense for very long. So that being said, come and visit campus and then apply. It's free. And by applying, it gives them the opportunity to know that this is a place that they can go to.
Dr. Friedrich, anything else you want potential students to know about Concordia St. Paul and the community that's on the campus?
I think one of the things that continues to inspire me is just this broad partnership that we have with the Concordia University system, with the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod as part of the Set Apart to Serve initiative. A few weeks ago, I was involved in a church work summit led by the Reverend Dr. Jim Bonnick, and Jim is a CSP alum, so I've known Jim for a long, long time. But just the sense of how committed the church is to prepare workers for the church. And Dr. Bonnick talks about Set Apart to Serve as creating a culture. It's a culture, not a program. So I think one of the things that I would like prospective students and families to know is how important that culture building is on our campus and how we share that deep commitment with so many other entities of Synod. At the youth gathering this summer, during the divine service, when President Harrison was the proclaimer, he challenged the youth who were at the divine service to consider full-time ministry and God's call to them in that vocation. And I agree wholeheartedly with President Harrison. We need 1,000 students studying for the full-time ministries of the church on our Concordia campuses. I think we need even more. And it's just such an exciting time to be in ministry. So I would want students and families to know what an incredible time it is to tell the good news of Jesus and to show the good news of Jesus through our Lutheran schools, through our Lutheran congregations, and the mission fields, domestic and international.
Our guest today, Breana Winnes, Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Concordia University St. Paul. Breana, thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
And the Reverend Dr. Brian Friedrich, President of Concordia University St. Paul. Dr. Friedrich, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Sarah. It's been good to be with you.
You can learn more about Concordia University St. Paul by visiting csp.edu, and you can learn more about Set Apart to Serve by visiting lcms.org/SAS. You've been listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support The Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit kfuo.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@kfuo.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.